Hello and welcome to the Tennessee Star Evening News Update for Thursday, July 14th, 2022. I'm Patrick Leahy. In the news tonight, Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives have blocked an effort by Representative Mark Green to ensure that National Guardsmen and reserve members of our armed forces will continue to be paid regardless of whether they have complied with or refused the COVID-19 vaccine mandate announced last year by Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. A similar bill, sponsored by Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, is still under consideration in the U.S. Senate. In the category of surprising partnerships, there's this story. Vanderbilt University has announced a 5-year education partnership with the National Security Agency, the often controversial and secretive federal spy agency. We'll share with you what we know about what this new partnership may entail. And in our lead story, 3 candidates seeking the Republican nomination in Tennessee's 5th congressional district turned out for Tuesday night's debate in downtown Nashville ahead of the August 4th primary. The debate was sponsored by the Epoch Times and local Republican groups. We'll tell you how candidates Andy Ogles, Jeff Byerline, and Trace Whittem fared in the straw poll of those in the audience and which candidates were not in attendance. We'll be back with details after these messages.
Williamson County is a unique and wonderful place. We've worked hard to get here. Our success was founded on conservative principles and common sense solutions. Gino Bolso and his wife Kathy chose our community over a quarter century ago for these reasons. Gino wants to represent us in Nashville. A rock-solid conservative, Gino will promote fiscal responsibility, common sense growth, and he will support law enforcement. Vote Gino, State Representative. Paid for by Bolso for State Representative Bob Weatherly, Treasurer.
Welcome back. In our lead story tonight, the Epoch Times Nashville Republican Women, Williamson County Young Republicans, and Davidson County Young Republicans hosted a unique debate on Tuesday evening in downtown Nashville in front of a crowd of about 500 people with Tennessee 5th Congressional District Republican candidates combat veteran Jeff Byerline, Maury County Mayor Andy Ogles, and State Senate aide Trace Whittem participating. Former Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives Beth Harwell was invited but had a conflict and was never scheduled to appear. Kurt Winstead confirmed his appearance but backed out at the last minute, organizers say. The debate was unique because subject matter experts asked the candidates questions instead of journalists or political analysts. It was live streamed on Epoch Times TV and has, so far, had more than 45,000 viewers. The 2 most memorable lines of the evening were delivered by candidates Jeff Byerline and Andy Ogles. On retired General Kurt Winstead's failure to attend the debate, West Point graduate Jeff Byerline said, quote, "This is the first time in Tennessee history a general ran from a fight." And on the failure of Department of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas to enforce immigration law, Maury County Mayor Andy Ogles said, "Mayorkas should be impeached and tried for treason." Epoch Times editor-at-large Roger Simon served as the moderator of the debate, while Dr. Carol Swain served as the subject matter on education. Swain was joined by Gordon G. Chang, the author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War, on the panel of experts. Hans von Spakovsky, an American attorney and senior legal fellow in Heritage Foundation's Edwin Meese III Center for Legal and Judicial Studies, served on the panel, as did the economist and founder of the Brownstone Institute, Jeffrey A. Tucker. The panel was rounded out by Dr. David Bell, an Australia public health physician, and Ron Vitello, former acting director of ICE. A straw poll of attendees gave the debate victory to Andy Ogles, who received 49% of the vote. Jeff Byerline was second with 26%, and Trace Whittem was third with 18%. Former Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives Beth Harwell spent Tuesday in Washington, D.C., where the Tennessee Star and Star News Network national political editor Neil W. McCabe spoke with her. Here's that report.
The race for the Republican nomination in Tennessee's 5th Congressional District is one of the most contested in the country. After her Capitol Hill meet and greet, former Tennessee House Speaker Beth Harwell told the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network why she thinks her chances of winning are good.
I love Middle Tennessee. I've lived here for 38 years. It's a beautiful area. I know this district very well. I think I have a record of service to the families and the citizens of this great area. I would continue that level of service.
The House Hopefuls Capitol Hill event was sponsored by ViewPAC, a political action committee run by Republican feminist Julie Conway. The Star asked Harwell what she knew about the fund that endorsed Congresswoman Liz Cheney and received contributions from abortion philanthropist Melinda Gates and some $200,000 from Tim Rainey, a man who in 2015 was fined by the U.S. government $8 million for illegal credit report practices.
I don't know who their contributors are. This I can firmly say. This ViewPAC also endorsed Marsha Blackburn, and Marsha's received money from them in support. So I think they're in good standing with a lot of people.
Harwell said one of the lessons learned she will bring to the House of Representatives from Tennessee is her experience trying to deal with illegal alien drivers.
And it was not a license, it was a certificate. Part of the problem was that these people were driving without insurance. Most of them were in the lawn care business. We tried it. It failed. And what I love about Tennessee and the Tennessee legislature is we quickly came back and corrected our situation. And I sponsored the bill to do away with driver's certification for illegal aliens.
Critics have said that the former speaker is beholden to teachers' unions, a charge the former school teacher said she was happy to respond to.
Look at my record. We ended Common Core when I was state speaker. We ended collective bargaining when I was state speaker. We have now eliminated, and I was not a part of this, but critical race theory has now been eliminated in Tennessee. I was the prime sponsor of public charter schools, Choice for Tennesseans.
Reporting for the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, Neil W. McCabe, Washington.
On Tuesday, Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives blocked Representative Mark Green's amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, which would have enabled National Guardsmen who refused the COVID-19 vaccine to stay employed. Green's amendment sought to protect National Guard and Reserve troops from being prohibited from paid training or education programs simply for their refusal to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. In a statement to the Tennessee Star, Green said the following, quote, "Last night, Democrats on the Rules Committee showcased what they prioritize, politics instead of our military men and women. My amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act preserved National Guard and Reserve troops' ability to participate in paid training and programs regardless of COVID-19 vaccination status. By rejecting my amendment, Democrats proved they are more concerned with making a headline than allowing our troops to carry out their duties. This callous move will result in a setback of our readiness, and I'm deeply disappointed." Green noted his disappointment with both the Biden administration and his Democrat colleagues in the U.S. House. Here's what he said. "The Biden administration's continued unwillingness to compromise or give our service members the respect they deserve is extremely disappointing. Now Congress has let these men and women down too. Our National Guard and Reserve troops are the backbone of our national security. They should not be denied paid training or education programs for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. Now is not the time for setbacks in our armed forces. This move by the Rules Committee Democrats is a slap in the face to the very ones who fight for us." The Tennessee Star previously reported that both U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn and Representative Green had sponsored legislation in the U.S. Senate and House, respectively, that would have enabled the National Guard soldiers who refused the COVID-19 shot mandate to keep their jobs. Blackburn's legislation is still pending in the House, but the House Democrats' blockage of Green's amendment makes it more likely that the Tennessee General Assembly will have to step in to ensure that state guardsmen remain employed. Last week, State Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson signaled the Tennessee General Assembly is ready to take action Previously, he told us, quote, "I can tell you, in talking to my colleagues in the General Assembly, we are prepared to step up to the plate and make sure these brave men and women do not lose their jobs." Up next, Star News Network Chief Meteorologist Daphne DeLorean has today's fresh forecast for Middle Tennessee.
Hey friends, happy Thursday. Chief Meteorologist Daphne DeLorean. Beautiful day we've had today. We've had the sunshine, temperatures right around where we should be for this time in the summer, in the lower 90s. Humidity has been bearable, so that's the good news there. Now we get to this evening, we're looking fantastic. We're going to keep that stretch going. 7 p.m. temperature, 86 degrees. Overnight low of 69 degrees. Not too bad in the weather department. Now Friday, most of us are starting to think about the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. TGIF sunshine in store to wrap up the week. 92 degrees for your daytime high on Friday. Now if you're heading out in the town Friday evening, looking good. Partly cloudy, humidity remains bearable, so that's the good news. And then overnight low right around 70 degrees on Friday night. Now we roll into Saturday and Sunday. Remember yesterday I was talking about that weekend 50-50? Still, the trend holds. Saturday is the weekend winner. You have the sunshine, temperatures in the lower 90s. Now we get to Sunday, and that's what that's what I've been eyeing. Really, second half of Sunday, our next approaching system rolls on in. So Sunday morning, still looking nice and dry. Sunday afternoon into the evening is when I'm anticipating our next round of showers and storms with our next approaching system. Now you're probably thinking, oh no, we don't want a weekend washout. Not by any means. It's a 40 to 50% chance. So areas will see showers and storms. Keep that in mind, but it's not a widespread event. It's just something to have in mind as you make your Sunday plans, and have an umbrella handy if you are heading out and about for your Sunday. So overall picture, enjoy today, tomorrow, even Saturday. Just a nice golden stretch of sunshine, and then our next chance of showers and storms again roll in on Sunday. Hey, speaking of which, I'll have an update on that coming up right back here tomorrow for your Friday evening 5 p.m. This was your Middle Tennessee Fresh Forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Daphne DeLorean, wishing you a wonderful day.
In other news, Vanderbilt University has announced a 5-year education partnership agreement with the National Security Agency. Quote, "This partnership will bring together the sharpest and most innovative minds across military intelligence and higher education to address these urgent and complex issues." This from Vanderbilt University Chancellor Daniel Diermeier. Drawing on our strong track record with military academic collaborations, Vanderbilt provides the intellectual forum to explore these challenges from new and cross-disciplinary perspectives, the chancellor said. The school did not exactly say which issues it would be studying in partnership with the secretive government spy agency, but it did note its own record of innovation. Quote, "Vanderbilt has long been recognized for our highly interdisciplinary and collaborative approach to find innovative solutions." This from Vice Provost for Research Padma Raghavan. By engaging directly with the defense and intelligence communities, we can further expand our world-class capabilities to solve the most pressing issues facing our nation. Raghavan, a computer engineer by trade, signed the deal with the NSA on behalf of Vanderbilt University. In May, Vanderbilt hosted a summit on modern conflict and emerging threats, which featured keynote addresses from U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, both from Tennessee. They focused on computer programming, specifically writing computer code and hacking. Quote, "No one in the world makes code or breaks code like the National Security Agency. We are the best of it, and we will remain the best," General Paul Nakasone, director of the NSA, said at the summit. The NSA has been involved in a number of controversial political issues in recent years. And that's the Tennessee Star Evening News Update for July 14th, 2022. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy, And I'll see you on the radio tomorrow morning from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Talk Radio 98.3 and 1510 WLAC.